Good morning, you're watching NewsX with me, Crispino Nunes. Well, the CBFC chief Prahlad Nihalani may have backed the board's decision to not certify the film Lipstick Under My Burkha. B-Town stars have come out in support of the movie, while director and actor Farhan Akhtar said that the reason quoted by the board to not certify the film is risible. Actor Diya Mirza says that the board is confused on whether its role is to certify or censor movies. The entire cast of the movie spoke to NewsX, while Ratna Pathak Shah reiterated that such movies are made to jolt the conscience of our audience. But the reaction by the CBFC board was on the extreme end. Another actor from the same film, Sushant Singh, called for greater freedom of expression. Expressing resentment over the treatment meted out to the film, producer Prakash Jha says that he had nothing to say to Prahlad and that he would challenge the decision in a tribunal. Director of the movie, Alankrita Bharadwaj, too told NewsX that it was a systematic attempt to get rid of any attempt to challenge the dominant discourse in the society.
I didn't know whether I should laugh or cry. The reasons given seem to be so absurd that I felt like laughing. The fact that they represent something that's happening in our country makes me very, very worried. But we seem to be in a state of denial about the reality of our country. We pretend that we are a completely moral and ethical world, and everything around us tells us that that's not true. Women in particular seem to be in this very conflicted situation where we are expected to behave in a certain way all the time. So a film like this, when it does come along, certainly rattles a part of our society. But that's what cinema is supposed to do, isn't it?
See, I don't think so there should be any controversy because there is a system in place. Let me just try and explain. So CBFC is there with certification of for film certification. Then there is FCAT, which is the Appellate Tribunal for Film Certification. Within the CBFC, there's a examining committee and then there's a reviewing committee. So these are the various places available for a filmmaker to show his film and then get it approved and get the certification that they want. If the examining committee does not give them a certificate which they're happy with, they can always appeal to the reviewing committee. If the reviewing committee also does not give them a certificate that they're happy with, that means the entire CBFC is not given them a certificate, then they can always apply it to the Appellate Tribunal. So this is, if I can explain in very simple words, you go to a lower court, you're not happy with it, you go to the higher court. So this is all part of the system. Now, what is the controversy? The people again and again keep talking about the government intervention in trying to have a certain ideology of films, which I can't understand because most of the films are getting passed in the FCAT. Now, both the FCAT, which is the Appellate Tribunal, and the Film Certification Board have both been placed by this same government. So most of the films are getting passed by FCAT. In the government, we are not at all concerned with the functioning of these two establishments, and these two institutions work on themselves.
We have with us Prahlad Nihalani right at his office. Sir, you know, the latest controversies regarding Prakash Jha's movie, CBFC has not issued certificate to the movie.
देखिए, मैं किसी को मिला या नहीं मिला, हमारे काम है पिक्चर को सर्टिफिकेट देना, लेकिन इतनी फिल्मों को सर्टिफिकेट दिया कोई उसकी बात नहीं करता। जो फिल्म ऑब्जेक्शनेबल होगी, जिसको सर्टिफिकेट यूनानिमस रिफ्यूज किया गया है, चाहे वो ईसी हो चाहे आरसी हो, और प्रोड्यूसर के पास अभी भी ऑप्शंस बहुत है, ही कैन गो द कोर्ट, ही कैन गो टू द एफकैट में जा सकता है, तो इसमें की और इतने में घबराने की क्या बात है? घबराहट हो गई प्रोड्यूसर को।
But people like Shyam Benegal and top people are talking that you have not issued. Sir, Prahlad sir.
I'm dumbfounded, especially the reasons they have given. It is a lady-oriented film, and they have fantasy beyond life or above life, something like that. And एक particular community के sentiment hurt हो सकते हैं. First of all, I'm tired of this, community sentiments getting hurt. What are we supposed to make? Are we supposed to publish scripts first, beforehand? ask public opinion, भाई किसी के sentiment तो hurt नहीं हो रहे हैं, now can we make this movie? If the government has given such rights to censor board that they can deny film certification to a particular film, then they've exercised that power. But the way they have exercised it, for the reasons they have exercised, very foolish. And government should take away this right from the censor board. Only courts or the parliament should have the power to decide that if a particular book or creative thing like a movie or documentary is so outrageous that it might, start unrest in the country, there should be powers that should decide that, not censor board.
You have to understand one thing as a filmmaker also, as to how your picturization, what are you doing, how are you showing that subject. That is very important, because ultimately who's your target audience? Is it a movie which is going to be shown to everyone? Is it a family oriented movie? All the families can families go together and watch this movie? No, they cannot. Number one. Number two, they also have to understand the society. Certain section of the society will not accept this movie, will not accept the content, and there will be a problem. Therefore, the filmmaker has to understand that they really cannot put such a content and then ask for the certification.
Yet again a film is in problem, yet again a film is denied certification, yet again we have to say the same thing, that you are a certification body, you have no right. It's become very boring. It's time that they were spoken to and the body was streamlined. Your guidelines, in your recommendations, add a line, say that this film has this content, that content, say that you disagree with the film, but let it be seen.
We have all been very shocked and very confused as to why the censor board has refused us a certificate. Yeah, we are making a simple film. It's a simple film about desires of women. I don't understand why the censor board is feeling so threatened at the fact that 4 women are talking about their sexual desires and they can think about fantasizing, about certain things in their life, when men can so openly do it. Why such a patriarchal society? And I think in 2017, we should not go back into the Ghungat system, and if we don't, if they are going to start banning art, then nobody will make art.
Sunny Leone, who are doing a lot of movies that are openly being screened. Then we also have a lot of these item songs that are a part of every movie these days. And they're all titillating, so to say, that's the whole purpose of having them in the movie, to titillate the senses. So if there's a movie that has a genuine topic behind it, and if it's trying to talk about something that exists there, and in that perspective, there are certain scenes, I think the censor board should definitely not ban it, because it's just a way to express, So you're literally saying that, okay, women do not have this freedom and men do. So I think it's absolutely wrong.
The matter is before the censor board. They are very matured people who are sitting in the board, and they know that what is best to be done when a movie comes to them for permission. So we should wait rather than trying to take position.
There are movies which are being released which objectify women. There are movies which are being released which have songs with lyrics that we can't even hear. Not forget, letting our children or letting our kids hear. There are far more damaging things that movies are doing, which are being released by the CBFC. Why isn't the CBFC doing anything on that? Why are they silent on that? If they, on this particular movie, they should have I have seen that note. I don't think the note is explanatory. I think they need to be far more serious in order to uphold morality and decency in our society.
Joining us on the phone line is my colleague Vaishnavi from Mumbai. Vaishnavi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Vaishnavi. The censor board has rejected the film on several grounds, including being lady-oriented. Your first thoughts on the decision by the censor board?
Well, there have been a lot of critics, as we have been hearing their reactions from the film industry as well. All of them have been saying that the role of the censor board is not to reject or refuse a film. The role is to actually certify the film. So if at all it has certain objectionable scenes, then all that they can do is give an adult certification. But they really cannot reject a film, is what people have been saying so far. So clearly, these are the reactions that we are getting to know. A lot of controversy has evoked earlier as well when it comes to the role of the censor board. This is not the first time that Prahlad Nilani has refused a film. There are several other films that he has actually refused. So the big question at this point of time is that, one, that can films not depict female desire, is what people are asking. And the second point as to what exactly is the role of the censor board. Is it to refuse a particular film if it doesn't go down well with the panel, or is it to actually certify? But yes, as per the rules, the censor board's role is to only certify films. So clearly, that question is being raised, and a lot of fingers being pointed out on Prahlad Nilani as to how he is actually functioning.
Indeed, Bollywood also has come out in support of the film and its creative narrative. Do you see more support likely for this film?
Well, that's right. We are expecting that there will be more support, of course, because we've seen that Bollywood, almost most of the filmmakers have come out and spoken about this. And this is not the first time, as I was pointing out last time as well, when Prahlad Nilani had refused any particular film or had asked for certain cuts in the films. That time as well, the Bollywood was united. They demanded that this is not acceptable. But yet again, we see such instances happening. That's the reason why we can only see that Bollywood is coming together and opposing and protesting, and we are expecting that more protests would come from their end, more objections would be taken by them. But how far this will go, how long will this continue, is something we can only wait and watch.
Well, Vaishnavi, do you think the censor board is being biased?
Well, that's what filmmakers are at this point of time telling, that the censor board seems to be biased in this case because, this is not how they can actually decide as to whether a film is worth watching for public or not. Because most of them have been saying that the Indian audiences will decide as to what they think is right or wrong. We should be leaving it to the audiences to decide. And that's the reason why, these arguments have been coming as to whether the censor board is behaving and trying to impose certain moral values on the people of India by rejecting such movies.
Well, indeed, in light of the recent developments, what do you foresee in the future for women-oriented films, Vaishnavi?
Well, see, as far as Prahlad Nilani is going to continue as a censor board chief, we feel that it is going to continue. We'll have to wait and see as to what exactly would happen, because Prahlad is clearly saying that he agrees with what he's done, and what he's done is absolutely right. And in fact, he goes on to say that it's his right to decide as to what can be done. So we can only hope that probably he could change his mindset and start allowing films, because this is not the first time that has happened. But at the same time, we cannot really say as to how long or what is the future of such movies, considering the fact that Prahlad Nilani is not going to be the censor board chief forever.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vaishnavi, for joining us.